Coverage you can count on at 11 starts now.
First at 11, the fallout continues for Pawleys Island Community Church and its leaders amid claims they failed to take proper precautions to protect students from sexual abuse. Good evening, I'm Adriana Lawrence. We've learned a fourth lawsuit names former pastor Don Williams, Warren Perry, and other former church leaders for failing to screen Perry, who is a registered sex offender. News 13's Annette Pegler breaks down the latest developments.
Adriana, we first reported a lawsuit on behalf of several families Monday seeking $25 million in damages. Now, 3 additional civil lawsuits have been filed against Warren Perry and the former leaders of Pawleys Island Community Church. And these additional lawsuits, the plaintiffs claim church leaders failed to protect their children. The first lawsuit names Pastor Don Williams, his wife Jenny, former school director Nikki Howard, Warren Perry, and multiple church elders. It alleges the school and church leaders failed to conduct background checks and knew about Perry's criminal history and sex offender status and still allowed him to have access to children on Pawleys Island Christian Academy campus, which is the school operated by the church. While this lawsuit does not make claims of sexual abuse, it argues leaders failed to take basic steps in protecting the children.
It happened in 2005. They knew it. They knew it happened in 2005. They changed the name of the church, but it happened on their watch.
The second lawsuit alleges a child was sexually abused by Perry in 2022. According to the family's attorney, after the child told their parents about an inappropriate game they learned at school, the parents went straight to the school and law enforcement authorities. But the lawsuit claims school officials questioned the child's statement instead of properly addressing the allegations.
If they continue to deny and refuse to take accountability, we strongly believe that the evidence is going to show what the church, what the leadership, what the school knew going all the way back to 2020, the ways that they perpetuated the dangers against children.
The allegations in these lawsuits have not been proven in court. The church's former pastor, Don Williams, his wife, Jenny Williams, church director, Nikki Howard, and Warren Perry are all due back in court in the fall. In the newsroom, Annette Pegler, back to you.
Annette, thank you. A Florence County man is in jail tonight in connection with a weekend shooting. Centarius Daney faces several charges, including 3 counts of attempted murder. Authorities say the 23-year-old fired several shots into a home on North Jones Road near Atlanta last Sunday during a fight. Sheriff's deputies say 3 people were inside the home at the time. Authorities say Daney then took a car without the owner's permission and drove off. He's being held without bond. A Dillon County woman is accused of stealing more than $34,000 from a Florence nursing home resident. Dolores Ann Edge faces 1 count of exploitation of a vulnerable adult and 1 count of breach of trust with fraudulent intent, $10,000 or more. Now, investigators say the 64-year-old, while acting as the victim's conservator and power of attorney, used the person's money and property for her own benefit without permission. A conviction on the charges could mean up to 15 years in prison. President Trump issued a major warning to Iran as he honored 4 American service members killed in the conflict. News Nation Washington correspondent Rashad Hudson reports.
President Trump's message to Iran is growing more direct as the U.S. continues to strike that country night after night, and the White House is out with a new warning toward Iran that involves ships and one of the world's busiest shipping ways. The nation paused to honor the 4 U.S. service members killed in the conflict with Iran. President Trump attended a dignified transfer at Dover Air Force Base. The number of American troop deaths related to the conflict now stands at 18.
And I just left Dover Air Force Base, which is an incredible place, but oftentimes very sad, because that's when they bring the bodies of our great heroes, our great patriots, warriors.
Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer blames President Trump for the deaths.
But our service members are not numbers to bury. They are human beings with families.
Just hours earlier, the president escalated his rhetoric toward Iran. In a social media post, he warned every attack on a ship passing through the Strait of Hormuz will be met with a U.S. strike on an Iranian bridge or power plant. The strait handles a significant share of the world's oil shipments, making it a critical global choke point.
Commercial ships are going through the straits and they're being blown up. The United States is defending that shipping.
On Capitol Hill, Democrats continue to question the administration's endgame.
It seems, unfortunately, like it's the whims of President Trump day in and day out. Whatever he feels in his gut that particular day, that dictates the tone and tenor of this war.
The U.S. and Saudi Arabia has announced a new agreement that deals with enriched uranium for that country, but it's facing a lot of scrutiny here on Capitol Hill. Rashad Hudson, News Nation, Washington.
The Coastal Carolina Association of Realtors says the housing market is stable for the first time in the last few years. That means a market that benefits both buyers and sellers. The association's latest monthly market report not only shows an increase in supply, but also demand for homes throughout Horry County. According to the release, single-family home sales increased nearly 7% compared to last June, while condo sales rose around 10%. Association CEO Laura Crowther says this stabilization could be due to current interest rates.
However, sellers that were on hold and waiting to make that next life move are finding that interest rates have leveled off a bit. They're not expecting them to drop back to the historic low rates they were, and being very realistic in their buying and selling decisions.
Crowther says not only is the market changing, but so are the demographics. She says those looking to move to the area aren't looking for beachfront or other vacation properties, but permanent homes. Today, Surfside Beach released the findings of an independent investigation into a cyber incident involving a $545,000 payment from the town that never reached a North Carolina contractor. The town says the investigation found no evidence of unauthorized access to its email accounts. It also says scammers used spoofed email domains and a fake website that impersonated the town to redirect the payment. Wildcat Contractors, meanwhile, has maintained its email system was not compromised and that the town sent the money to a scammer account. You'll find full details of the investigation, including examples of emails the town received, at WBTW.com. Today, the PD Community Action Partnership in Marion hosted the 5th annual Senator Clemente Pinckney Back to School Bash. Families receive free school supplies, along with fresh vegetables and food resources for children. Parents could also register their child for school or Head Start and access other community services like energy assistance.
But we can do a lot when we join forces. If you look around the room here, we've got all kinds of agencies that are helping. You can do more when you lock your hands, your hearts, your heads together. You can bring more resources to the community, and that's what this is all about.
The annual event honors the legacy of State Senator Clemente Pinckney, one of the 2015 Charleston church shooting victims. Today, MUSC Florence broke ground on its new Hollings Cancer Center facility. The 63,000 square foot facility will serve as a regional hub, extending MUSC's reach of being the only national cancer institute in the entire state and one of 74 national cancer institutes in the country. MUSC officials say the center will give local patients the same level of treatment they'd have to travel to Charleston to receive.
This brings all of that much closer to home. So many of the same services that are offered at Hollings Cancer Center in Charleston will now be offered at Hollings Cancer Center at MUSC Health Florence Medical Center. So it's going to be a tremendous resource for our community.
MUSC says the new Hollings Cancer Center is expected to open next summer. Now let's get a check on the forecast with Krista.
And we are expecting a front to move through later on this evening, and that's going to continue overnight and bring us a chance for some more scattered showers for Thursday and Friday. But it's also going to bring temperatures back to what we typically see this time of year. We'll have more on that after the break.